Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Now, if this is your very first time here, my name is Fiddle and Johnny, and this is my Fiddle channel and magic product review. And before I do any magic product review, I always do a quick fiddle tune. So let me get the fiddle tune out of the way. I'm going to do an old Stephen Foster tune called Hard Times Come Again No More. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Hard Times Come Again No More, an old Stephen Foster tune. Any rate, today I'm going to review Repo. Now, this is one of the hottest products on the market. And I think one of the reasons it's one of the hottest products on the market is because it's so visual, because you're able to just like right out of the air, just like pull things right out of the air, like a chain. I'm not even sure if you can see that or not, but some of the cool things is such a freedom to produce objects right in front of your spectator, and probably very difficult to see, and just simply also be able to make them disappear. So at any rate, Repo by Tobias Dostal, and it comes out through the Murphy Studio, is what I'm reviewing. Stick around. We'll get right into it. All right, I'm pretty excited to be reviewing this Repo by Tobias Dostal, and it's released through Murphy's Magic Studio. I know I'm probably a little late to the game. You've probably watched about a dozen other reviews at this point. I have a rule, I have not watched anybody else's reviews on it, so I don't know what the community take on it is so far. You're really just gonna get my point of view. I've had it for, I don't know, a couple weeks maybe. It's clear that it's just a really hot product. I'm going to assume most of you know what it is, but if you don't know what Repo is, Repo takes this concept of imagination and unlocking the imagination, and through that course you're able to make things appear and the impossible happen. First, by being able to, there's multiple routines, but the effect is to be able to make a chain appear out of nowhere. And I'm confident you probably won't be able to see this from a great distance, but you're able to make a chain appear by using a key that unlocks the imagination. And you're able to take that key and have it actually go onto and actually attach to the chain and right in front of your spectators, and then you're able to make it essentially disappear. That's not the disappearance, it's here in my hand. I taped or attempted a demo, so I may insert a demo here or may not, depending on what it looks like. I had a difficult time just filming myself and getting it looking just right for camera. But you're able to then pull the key off of the chain and have the key disappear because it was simply only a part of your imagination. You can also do variations of having the chain put into your spectator's hand, and the chain changes into a key. You can pull the key, you can put the chain on a spectator's wrist and then have the key disappear, only to have it reappear back on their wrist with the key attached and handed out for them for full examination. So there's lots of variations in terms of effect that you can do here, but if I boil down what's the effect, it's appearance, disappearance, and solid penetrating through solid is the effect. Done in a very clever presentation and routine. All right, so let's talk about what are you going to get. I'm not going to go over all the details of everything that you're going to get because just out of respect to Tobias and Murphy's Magic. But what you should walk away with is you're going to get everything you need to be able to perform it. I can tell you're going to get a chain that's a solid chain with a key attached permanently. You'll get one that does not have a chain that does not have the key attached permanently. You're going to get multiple keys. You're going to get tacky stuff. Those are some of the things you're going to get. And you're going to get a red envelope as well. In fact, everything I received basically came in this little itty bitty black package. So in this box, really what you get, everything you need is right here in this little black pouch. So I should point out that you're going to get essentially part 1 and part 2 in videos, which comes out to, let's see, you get 2 videos. The first one's 51 minutes in length, and the second one is 16 minutes in length, is what you're going to get. So it's a total of 1 hour and 7 minutes total. Should talk about the instructions. They're just great instructions. Tobias does the bulk of the instructions. He'll go through everything that you need. On the second video, he has Javier von Meyer from Murphy's Magic who assists him a bit, but it's really Tobias that's doing the tutorial, and it's great. It's detailed, beautiful. It's shot in the Murphy's Magic studio, and you know you can always download it through Murphy's Magic if you want to not just stream it, but actually have the hard version of it. We should talk about how is the gimmick and the props. I don't want to go into great detail about them because I feel like it would give away too much method. What I will say is the props work. They do their job. They are classics of magic. If you've been a magician for any length of time and you've watched the teaser for it, you've probably teased out a little bit of what some of the methods are, but may not be able to quite sort out like the nuance of some of like exactly what does the gimmick look like and that sort of stuff. So I'll just say that he has taken classics of magic that we've all used and modified it specifically for this routine. Let me do a humble brag. One of the things I love about this is that I myself have been playing around with a variation of creating my own gimmick, unbeknownst that Tobias is working on this one. He's put together such a cool version of it. I have a routine that looks nothing like this, but I've been playing around with creating my own gimmick to be able to manipulate objects essentially in the same way. So it's a long-winded way to say it's a classic, and he's done a nice job of creating this gimmick. Could you make the gimmick yourself? Yeah, you could. And in fact, I think I'll probably go out and attempt sort of trying to mimic exactly his gimmick, that the most important gimmick in this process myself, to see how close I can get and to customize it even a little bit more for myself. And this is like, I'm going to jump to the pros and cons right now in terms of the cons of the gimmick. I love the gimmick. The idea is brilliant, great, and superly well executed. However, I do have some challenges with adherence and it's sticking. And it has to stick to your hand, this gimmick. You get your classic sort of blue tack, although his is pink tack, that you get to keep it attached. I have a real challenge with it consistently staying on, so I've added my own Octopalm that I have to help with stickiness so that the gimmick does not fall off. I will suspect that I am not the only one who has that issue. It is not a fatal flaw, but it's a real enough issue. And I feel like I still have to play around more to make sure that the gimmick doesn't fall off. In fact, the very first time I performed it, the gimmick did not stay adhered. My spectators didn't know what was going on, and I went, oh, I messed that up. And they're like, what do you mean? What happened? And I was able to conceal it, but that was a real challenge. The effect is still really just cool as all heck. And the routine is structured really, really great. So again, it's not a fatal flaw, but it is something that may be a challenge for others in the way that it was a challenge for me. It is not stopping me from using this. this will definitely go into my gig bag, and I will use it when it feels like the appropriate application in place for it. So yeah, good stuff there. In fact, I'll probably go, just so folks know, if you have a craft store, like here in the United States, we have Michael's. I'm going to go to the craft store, see if I can't build the gimmick myself, and maybe get some things that help for adherence. All right, let's talk about what is the skill level. It's just beginner. This is 100% beginner. I think I was a little surprised because I felt like the routine had enough sophistication in it that it might require some more maybe advanced beginner skills. No, it doesn't. This is firmly a beginner skill level, and I think a lot of people are going to be satisfied with how easy it is to perform. I'd say after you watch the tutorial and practice for 15 minutes, you're probably going to be ready to perform it. Simple as that. Maybe 30 minutes, but probably for most, some may not even take a full 15 minutes. It's that easy to learn and do. All right, so when I talk about the pros and cons, I love that he's taken this classic sort of method and modified it to be able to do this specific routine, and has included really great props with it. I would also add, if you watched the trailer for it, you like the effect and you want to perform it, you should get it. It's that simple. I don't think you'll be dissatisfied with it. I think the other thing that I would add as a pro, if you're not familiar with this method and you're newer in Magic, I personally love the method, and again, repeating myself, trying to come up with some of my own ideas over the last year or two on some similar ideas. And I'd say once you get it, think about how you could apply the method yourself and to fit you, and broaden it out more. And maybe there's more possibilities with this gimmick that are still untapped. So I think that's another aspect that I really like. The one thing, again, another thing that I like, you get this little red envelope. From a performance point of view, I can put everything in this little envelope, nothing gimmicked about it, and walk out the door and be ready to gig with it. And I like that it's so small, takes up so little space, as that it could be an everyday carry for a lot of people. And I suspect a lot of people will use it as an everyday carry. To jump to the negatives, I already mentioned the tackiness and needing more tackiness so the gimmick doesn't fall off. I suspect some will question, like, is the chain, is it solid enough? Well, it is a delicate chain, and as long as you care for it, it shouldn't break. And I think in performance, why would it break? You shouldn't be doing anything that's rough with this. I think you can throw it in your pocket and probably be pretty rugged, quite honestly. I will be throwing it into the envelope, but it's durable. And I think some folks might worry about, is the chain too delicate? And in my humble opinion, no. As long as you take care of it in the way you would take care of any chain, I think you should be fine. But let's say you bust it, you could probably go out and find a similar chain, or maybe a little stronger chain that'll work for you. So I don't think that's a deal killer by any stretch. Angles. I think for the most part, you can almost be completely surrounded. I wouldn't want somebody right to my sides at certain points. I probably will hold my hand a little bit closer at times, but I think it's natural to want to be able to put your hands out a foot or two in front of you. And if you have someone right to your side, they might be able to see a little bit what's going on. So just be aware of those from an angles point of view. I'm not terribly worried about that as an issue, quite honestly, based upon the way I typically perform. But I know some people will have that question, and I want to make sure that you knew about that. I think who's going to like this? I think any magician who likes great visual magic that is inspiring will like this effect. I think folks who like to jazz with their magic will like this, because you can do a lot of jazz with this once you're in performance with folks. Now the cost currently is $59.95. I think that's a little bit expensive, quite honestly. So I think it's just a hair overpriced. But I love the effect, and for me, I'll probably use it in professional gigs, so it's going to pay for itself in that respect, and I don't see it breaking, so it's something that'll last me a lifetime. So, but it is $59.95. I know we're just on the precipice of Black Friday, so maybe we'll see it on sale a little bit cheaper in some places and on some websites. All right, that's it. I know a lot of people have purchased this because it's such a hot product. If you have, leave comments down below and tell us what your perspective is. Was it easy to learn? Were there challenges? Did you have the same challenge that I had about the tackiness and the stickiness of having the prop stick to your hand? So leave comments on what your thoughts are, and especially as it's helpful to the rest of the community who might be considering it. Because there's some people 6 months from a year from now, from the time that this is released, and they're just sort of discovering it and considering it. And I think having a robust chat in the comment section is going to be helpful for those folks, especially as we all get more experience performing with it. So leave a comment down below. Also, make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. I always really appreciate it when you do that. All right, that's it. In the United States, it's Thanksgiving next week, so if you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving to you if you celebrate it. And that's it on Repo by Tobias Dostal. I can say I really, really like this effect. It's one of my favorites so far of 2024, and I would recommend it personally, even though I do think it's a hair expensive and there are some challenges with the tackiness, so that having the gimmick stick to your hand. That's it. All right. I'm Fiddle and Johnny, and remember, keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. All right, I'm going to do a quick demo of Repo for you. My dog, you might hear in the background, maybe growling at neighbor's dogs walking by. But I think one of the things that I like about Repo is that the concept and idea is about imagination and a key to unlocking imagination. In fact, if you go in and you unlock that door and you open it and you step into a room of imagination, all things become possible, and that you can make whatever you desire appear. And with that, it doesn't have to end there. You can take that key and see that it'll actually attach right onto your actual chain. I love it. I love that idea. I love what you can do with it. It doesn't even have to end there if you want. And that you can take that key and you can pull it off of that chain. And the thing I like about that is that since it's all about imagination, it never really existed to begin with. And there you go. That is a little bit of a Repo from Tobias Dostal. I hope you enjoyed that.